Lord Heavenly Father, I am here to confess my sins. The other night, as a joke, I dressed up as a woman and seduced my friend. And the worst part, I still haven't told him. Please forgive me. Hello everyone and welcome to the Boy Ryan's channel. To the Boy Ryan's base. I am Mr. Saturday. I hope you are having a beautiful, wonderful day. And my day is going fantastic. I am here at the Boy Ryan's very beautiful base because he asked a handful of us if we wanted to do any interiors to these little homes slash shops that he has on this street. And I volunteered. Now, for the most part, I'm going to try to make as many of these into shops or some kind of workstation type shops as well. I haven't quite figured it out yet. There's no planning to this. I'm just going to look inside the building and whatever thing pops into my brain is what I'm going to try to make. So I went ahead and took care of the first shop. The first shop is pretty small and it is a cobbler and it's for all boots. So if we go in, like I said, it was super small on the inside. Not a lot going on, but I managed to give him a little desk that also doubles up as his workstation. He's got his little hammer back here. He has his bookkeeping to keep receipts and paperwork on people's boots that he's worked on. He's got a couple of scissors in the background for snipping leather or whatever he may need to snip. A couple of paintings, a little flower he can look at while he's working and admiring the street and his freedom away from work. We also got some leather in here and some iron to work on some of the boots, and we got all different kinds of pairs of boots. Mainly the leather boots, that's his specialty, so we got that going. And yes, before you ask, I am going to try to name as many of these as I can after other server members. Right here we have the used book nook, and if we step on inside we can see all of the bookshelves and paintings, and it looking pretty decent in here. Yeah, I don't think I want to touch those if those are used books. How to Minecraft, rammed the redstone, which is kind of funny. And then, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of this shop. Now, we have this big white shop next. And, you know, when I step into it and I see all of these white walls, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, this would be an awesome padded room. But at the same time, it would make an awesome redstone shop. So this one's going to be a redstone shop. And the one time where tables as pistons would make sense, I'm not going to do it because I just did that for the last two shops. So this guy's getting a random table. And here we go. We got the clock repair. And there's definitely, you know, some redstone in here. It's got the little clock in the middle that you could see working and functioning just right. He's got his prices back here with his little menu and stuff that he could do. It says everything $20. And yeah, I think this came out pretty good. It's definitely not a gentleman's club of any kind. And I lied about the piston table. I did use one. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this one stumped me for a little bit because when you walk in here, it's just, yeah, right? So I have finally came up with what I wanted to do in here. It's going to be one of those special rock stores. You know, sometimes when you go on vacation, you'll find those little stores off to the side that sell like quote unquote special rocks or, you know, crystals and stuff like that. That's what this is going to be. I'm going to build a special rock store. Doc Spots Special Rocks. So there we go. We got a little rock shop in here. I got some extra lapis piled up in the back. Got a little bit of mossy cobblestone because that is a special rock in this version. These were supposed to be display cabinets, and I had a brain fart and forgot which version I was in, so I can't piston anything into these, but they're still a cool decoration even when they're empty. This is an actual display of my hopes and dreams right here. You can see it in 4K. But over here we have all the special rocks, right, that I could come up with. We got redstone, we got the glowstone, we got diamonds, and all the shiny stuff. Over here, she has her little work table. This does have a hammer and saw, so she can take these piece and saw them down into little rocks to sell to everybody that walks up and down the street. Tell them it's some kind of voodoo magic or whatever crystal people believe in. I don't, to be honest with you, I fully don't know what they're used for. I just know they're used for stuff. I have been staring at this shop for 20 minutes. I have no idea what I'm going to put in here. It is very narrow. It is a 3 wide. Maybe I could get some kind of coffee shop in here. Like if I put a little register in the back, it'd be like a little 2 wide register, right? Person could sit right here. I don't know where the hell they're going to get the coffee from, but it can be a little coffee shop. And then maybe a couple of seats, like a very small mom and pop style coffee shop. It wouldn't be very big. I can tell you that. We're going to try to roll with that. We're going to go coffee shop. Now we got the morning brew. This took me a little bit, just because of the size. We have a couple of chairs in here. I forgot to put the signs as like little armrests. I'll do that here in a minute. Got a little bit of a blue rug right here while you're waiting. I tried to add some shelves and some cabinets just above the brew guy, so maybe he could grab the coffee from up top. It is a really tight squeeze, and this guy's going to always be on his feet, which is like that for most restaurants and places and stuff like that too. I think it came out all right. This was, like I said, this was a very small area. We got some paintings up. You know, a lot of these mom and pop coffee shops have like different artworks up. Sometimes it's like a local artist or painter or something a family member did and they decided to hang up in the store. I think it came out all right. For its size, it's all right. This little spot right here is going to be the last one that I do, at least today. Over here, I did get creepered in this area, and I repaired it as best as I could remember. I don't remember exactly how this spot looked, but I did my best to fix it. I don't know where that creeper came from, and luckily it didn't touch the clay house. I was kind of right up on this one, coming back from getting more supplies. I have a little supply chest kind of like over there. So when I was coming back, I got blown up. I did fix it. I can't remember if there was any more details than this. I can't remember if this was 2 separate stores or like one big house, because there's a house here and a house here and those two. So I went ahead and gave it some brick flooring, a little doorway into this one, and this one has like its windows and stuff. I do apologize for that. I did not see that creeper and I do not hear it. If you can't tell at the moment, my sounds do not work, and I do not know why they don't work. So I gotta figure that out. Every time I look at this little corner bit, I think of an inn. Like a very small inn, like a place where you can rent like a couple of rooms, right? Sometimes these shops have it where you could walk in and there's like, it's like this little building with like 3 or 4 rooms in it, right? Nothing too big. The parking is horrible because it's on like the other side of town, but just like in a town similar to how this one is laid out in Helen, Georgia, there is a couple of places like this where there is an area that has like a few bedrooms that you could stay in that's just like right in the middle of everything. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a little inn in here. It's not quite a shop like the rest of these, so I'm not entirely too sure if it's going to be okay, but I'm going to go ahead and build it, and if it's not, I'll just come back and change it. I fixed it. I have sound again. We have a box player, and he has seen his gentleman's coming shop, and he loves it. He approves. 10 out of 10. Captain Cat's place to nap. So right in here, we have a little area. This is like the receptionist area, right, where you would sign in and they would give you the key. And then right up here, I turned this into a tiny hallway. This was pretty hard to squeeze in here, but I got it. And right in here, we have a 2-bed bedroom, and this could be for like you and a friend, or like you and your wife, or whatever's going on. You know, if you got a partner, there's 2 beds. So this works out pretty good. You can rent this room. There's a little bookcase in here for some of that reading. Hopefully it's not from Casper's shop. and you know, some paintings and stuff to look around. You got a skylight over this one and some bushes over this one. I think it's pretty neat. I like the way that it looks, and what's cool about these crafting tables is that you can use them as a floor for like a tiled wood texture. As small as this is down below, if you don't have upper room, this still works as a crafting table, and it looks like the rest of the wood. So it works out pretty good. It's like a cheap way to do a floor when you don't have the room to do a different floor. I kind of like it. We are here at spawn because I did build a handful of things that I haven't got the chance to show off. So over here I went ahead and put a snow protector for Ryan's strip club. It keeps the snow from snowing down on top of it, making it look all weird. And I kind of added a parking lot into the front of the strip club as well with, you know, you gotta have the handicap parking spot or it ain't a real parking place. Over here, I did a little throwback to a prank. I'll try to link the video where several of the members pranked with yellow dandelions absolutely everywhere. This is also one of those areas that's just completely covered in snow, and I can't tell if this looks better than the snow or not. I think it does. I want to say it does, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure. And then if we go over here, I built egg things courthouse. So there was a courthouse over here, and the boy Ryan didn't want it there because it was blocking the view of the strip club. It was a bit big, and I offered to redo the roof, and he asked me if I could move it, so I just went ahead and moved it. Now, I made the bad mistake of not taking a screenshot, but I think I captured the vibe a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. It does look really nice, but it's not the original one. I put a big B on the front of it for back to beta, and it is named the Courthouse of Egg Thing. If we go in here, it's got a big E for them, and it's got a big, beautiful ceiling in here. I love the way how tall this ceiling is. This is amazing. You got the courtroom itself in here. You got where everybody would stand. They got their microphones. You got where the judge would sit. You would have, I forget what this person is, but they type, right? And then the other person over here, you know, gets questioned like 8,000,001 questions, or it might be the other way around. The question person might sit over there and the type person might sit. I can't remember now. Either way, one of them sits in one place, one of them sits in the other place. And then you got where everybody could sit and watch the court. Maybe the jury could sit back here. I didn't have too much room on the sides to build like a little jury area, but they can also sit in the back and kind of judge. Over here, we have a bit of a waiting room when you're waiting for your trial to start. This could be like a place where you could sit down and have snacks or eat lunch, take a break or whatever, because sometimes judges call for breaks. This could be a little bit of a break room where you go and kind of talk things over with your lawyer. Other things that I've added was I added a bunch of these colorful planes around. There is a ton of them throughout spawn, and they're all different colors. I tried not making two of the same color any type of plane, and it's like there's a flight show going on. I also helped out quite a bit with the landscaping. I did not only the landscaping in front of the church, or not church, the court, sorry about that. I also fixed this little road right here. The road did go all the way straight, right? It was two roads, and then Box Player built this game, and it took up one side of the road, but it kind of just ended at the game. So I just looped it around and made it connect. I fixed that little bit. I added some trees and some foliage throughout this little area. This was just flowers, but I went ahead and added some of these trees. I think they're all right. They're pretty good for small trees, and it beats me from building these over and over again like I normally do. So I gave it a break. So I gave some of these here and some of the ones that you normally see in some of my builds. I tried to add the green wool in certain places along with the soul sand. Quite a few places that have like bone mealed grass just to kind of, I don't know, bring a little life to it. Over here we do have bushes. I think this was, this is where the courthouse was. I think I added these bushes when the courthouse was here. And I also tried to decorate Egg Road a little bit. He has a rundown shop up there, and I wanted it to, you know, leave that rundown feeling, right? So I added a few trees, scattered up the road a little bit, and then I added a broken brickway kind of up there. Also to kind of get rid of the snow a little bit. A lot of this was to get rid of the snow that's like right up on the shopping district slash spawn area. And I think it worked out pretty good. You're still going to have like snow on top of some of the trees, unfortunately. I am not building an extremely big one of those because that would take forever. It's kind of what I did for Castle Moonstone, if you can remember that, where it had the big snow protector everywhere. We do have new development in New Helen. The road that comes from Griffin's base to my base, I went ahead and fully connected it. It's decorated all the way now. And I added some palm trees on the beach, so we have like the little thin palm trees, and we have the super thick ones that you've seen in the single player world. I also added a few of the custom pine trees, or like spruce trees, right? So we have some angled ones, like they're bent a little bit. We have some straight up and down ones. And we have some really tall ones that are also kind of angled and straight at the same time. I did go ahead and build a sugarcane factory because I did want to get a few farms here at the base. I lack in the farm department, to be honest with you. And we'll just go ahead and do this. And this right here is probably my favorite factory so far. It kind of reminds me of the starter house I built in Spawn, just a little bit different. And I added just little bits of detail like in random places. I just focused on this build for several hours, and I like the way it came out. I really like this build. It came together better than I thought it would. To me, it is in an awkward place though. It is right up on the courthouse when it comes to the back side of things. But other than that, it is really nice. I really like it. This little pond has always been here. All I did was connect the middle. This was natural land that I left alone when flattening this area out because I like the way that it arched. I did decorate it a little bit on the inside, and I connected the water up because this was also a natural pond. So I wanted those two waterways connected up, and I went ahead and built up the little trees and stuff on top. I still got to do the back side of it. I'm not entirely too sure what I want to do with this pond yet, but it's there and it's ready to be decorated. On this side of things, we have water coming out of the sugarcane factory, like they're getting rid of their excess water, and that kind of explains like this little river and that pond. Maybe I'll do something for this factory as well, where they're also kind of dumping their water out into this pond. Unfortunately, you know, New Helen is not known for its clean waters. Yeah, so that free cam thing, that is awesome. That is thanks to the boy Ryan. He sent me a new instance that I wasn't aware of existing, which I think is really cool. I've been using the instance that Pepper gave me for the longest time. Well, he didn't give it directly to me. He gave it to everyone in a YouTube video once, and I've been using it ever since. So I'm still getting used to all of the settings and how smooth things are because my last instance wasn't very smooth, and that was probably my fault. The inside of this sugarcane farm or factory is not decorated all too well, mainly because I got to figure out what to put around this farm. The farm works alright. It's a bit janky. The redstone is a bit janky on this side. It's kind of got like a little hole right there, and that is exposed redstone. Sometimes sugarcane falls into it. And I maybe get half of the sugarcane that grows. Sometimes you have to do this, like you have to double flick it, and that will get you like a little bit more, but not a whole lot more. Yeah, see, I like this part where it all piles up in the middle right there, and it drops from this top bit, and the top bit also keeps it watered. The only thing is I wish I could get the rest of those, but unfortunately I cannot. Let's see how many I get this time. I think this is the most Ah, it's the second most I've ever gotten. I was about to say, if it beats 59, then that's the most I've ever gotten, was 59 in one go. So yeah, sugarcane factory, got a little bedroom, nothing too special. Like I said, the interior is completely jank at the moment until I figure out what I want to do in there. For some reason, I was in a building a parking lot type of mood, so we have a parking lot here at the storage factory as well. This is where mine and Griffin's road's going to go. It's going to go to this corner right here. It's going to kind of catty corner into it. That way you can go into the train station and continue walking on to Peppers. And eventually I want to say the Christmas district is where that road leads. It leads a pretty far way. Or you could go like across the parking lot into the storage area. So we have one parking lot here, but I also have another parking lot down here because there is another new building. This building is not done. It's going to be a cactus farm and a hotel at the same time. So it looks like a hotel on the outside to match all of these tall buildings, these tree farm skyscrapers. But it's going to be a cactus farm, just like the skyscrapers being tree farms. So there's the inside of the building. The building itself looks pretty neat. It goes at an angle like this, or like a slope, a V shape maybe. And it kind of squares off over here to match like the rest of the skyscrapers and stuff going on. I still got to work on the fireplaces on top. They fix those a little bit. And I can't remember if I ever showed off the skyscrapers in a video, but we do have 3 skyscrapers. They are the 3 different types of trees. I used to have a really messy area right about here, just filled with trees and trees only. So I cleaned those up and gave them their own building. So yeah, new building, nothing in it. It will have something in it one day. I just got to get around to finishing it off. On the mini game side of things, we do have one new mini game and a Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel is for looks. What it is I'm going to build this dock area up, and I want like this little carnival area to kind of wrap in the gaming district a little bit. You know, like some little carnival houses that you could play mini games at and win prizes, like popping balloons or trying to knock down the milk bottles or whatever they're called. Bobbing for apples, stuff like that. And this minigame right here is actually called Cactus Runner, or yeah, it's called Cactus Runner. So what you do is you go fast and you don't die. It is a maze game that pricks you to death. So you got to figure out the maze, dodging the cactuses. Now, you can't put cactuses beside each other, but what you can do is put a fence post down like this. And if you put slabs on top of the cactuses and fence posts, you cannot go over this as much as you want to. Like, you could try all you want to. You could squat, do whatever you want. You cannot go through that gap. So it forces you to find the different routes that you need to take. And if you're not careful, you will get pricked. Now, on both sides, because you can enter either way, on both sides, it is easy. It actually gets difficult in the middle. The middle is the difficult part. It's probably where you'll get pricked the most. You're supposed to play it without armor, but I guess you could play it with armor if you didn't want to die and just try to see if you can get your time up. But yeah, so the 2 sides, they're easy. This one's a bit of a, more of a medium than it is the easy one. That far side over there is the easiest. So I guess if you wanted a little bit more difficulty and to run it backwards, this guy right here would probably be the side you want to start. I did put up a little scoreboard on this side because you will be coming from the other mini games, I'm assuming. That's kind of how everything else is working. So we have a little scoreboard here. I just got to put up like the rules. All the rules should be able to fit on one side, and people can leave their times. So what it is you're just timing yourself to see who could be the fastest to get through the cactus farm. I know this has been a weird episode. We did a lot of interior work at the boy Ryan's base, went over some of the building that I have done just in the meantime. A bit of a talky episode, right? Please forgive me for that. Normally I don't talk this much, and maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I have no idea. But I will see all of you in the next one. Bye.